Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Sound familiar? The supposedly two old Warriors are setting up a title challenge. It felt like the end again. The Golden State Warriors missed the playoffs in 2020 and 2021, but they stormed back from the abyss in 2022 to beat the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. Steph Curry was 33 for most of that season. Draymond Green and Klay Thompson were 31. The Warriors returned to the pinnacle of basketball, had the whiff of a last hurrah, and indeed their championship core faded for a second time after that. A second-round exit in 2023, a play-in tournament flatlining in 2024. Curry and his four-time championship-winning teammates continued to get older in the way athletes do. Last year's missed postseason was a crossroads. Thompson left in free agency for the Dallas Mavericks. Curry and Green returned for what would be their age 36 and age 34 seasons, but these Warriors, the ones that collected all those titles under Steve Kerr, were finally cooked. They had to be ordered. The Golden State are now the hottest team in basketball as the playoffs approach. They have 14 wins and 3 losses since February 13. That stretch began 1 week after they made a blockbuster wing swap with the Miami Heat, trading Andrew Wiggins for Jimmy Butler. The move saw Golden State send away a key player of their second championship core, Wiggins, for a player who looks poised to be part of a third iteration under Curry and the still trucking Steve Kerr. The Warriors were tied for 10th in the Western Conference on the day of the Butler trade, looking ticketed for the play-in again. Now they're up to 6th and looking, at least for the moment, like an honest title contender. Related, Nikola Jokic is putting up record numbers, so why is he unlikely to be NBA MVP? The Butler trade is a convenient start point for the turnaround. Butler has not even found his jump shot yet. He has made 22.7% of his three-pointers as a Warrior and has struggled to make baskets from all over the floor. However, Butler has 5 all-defensive team honors to his name and is still a hellacious defender at 35. The Warriors have allowed 107.6 points per 100 possessions with him on the floor, a defensive rating that would make them roughly the best defensive team in the NBA if the team maintained those numbers all the time. Without Butler, Golden State have allowed 113.1 points per 100 trips. Those numbers stand in stark contrast to those of Wiggins, who had arguably been a drag on the team by the end of his time in the Bay this season. Golden State have posted a net rating 7.2 points better when he was off the floor than when he was on it. Jimmy Butler sent strong message about Steph Curry amid Warriors' success. The Golden State Warriors have been born again ever since they traded for Jimmy Butler last month. They appeared to be in gradual decay before making that deal, but Butler, a 6-time All-Star forward, has given them new life since he arrived. Golden State has won 16 of 20 games and has improved to a 41-30 record, which puts it in 6th place in the Western Conference. There is a chance it will move up in the standings, and some have even asserted that the team is now a championship contender. But as instrumental as Butler has been to the team's success, its main linchpin, as has been the case for over a decade, is still Stephen Curry. Curry has looked like his vintage self on the court once again with Butler by his side, and off the court he has remained the class act he has always been. While Butler is willing to embrace his dark side, he praised Curry for being a good human being. He is the man, he is everything everybody says of him. More than anything, he's just nice, he's just genuinely a good human being to everybody. It's very refreshing, because he doesn't have to be that way on the season. Curry is averaging 24.2 points a game while shooting 44.7% from the field and 39.4% from three-point range, numbers that are below his career averages. But since Butler made his Warriors debut, the future Hall of Fame sharpshooter has put up 27.5 points per game and shot 48.1% overall and 40.7% from downtown. Meanwhile, Butler, who agreed to a contract extension through the 2026-27 season once he was traded to the Warriors, is averaging 17.6, 6.5 assists and 6.1 rebounds a game with his new team. If the Warriors aren't true title contenders right now, they will almost certainly be just that next season once they have a full training camp with Butler and perhaps bring in a reinforcement or two. Warriors could land 2 talented players from Trailblazer Blazers in game-changing trade proposal. The Golden State Warriors could easily land two major upgrades in this bold blockbuster trade proposal with the Portland Trail Blazers. The Golden State Warriors are back in the right track after they committed to their win-now direction over the winter with the acquisition of Jimmy Butler. They've been flying through the NBA since Butler joined the team, going 15-4. While they can't make more win-now moves this season, the sample size will convince them they're real contenders with this core. Assuming they fail to win a title, it could provide the impetus for more win-now moves in the summer. The Portland Trail Blazers have been surprisingly competitive this season with a 32-40 record. The emergence of Denny Abdija has been key in this competitive streak, but the franchise core includes the likes of Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe. If they don't have an immediate win-now window, Abdija could fetch some healthy assets back, as could Robert Williams. The Warriors should target those two players in a potential summer trade. This deal gives the Blazers two high-potential youngsters with two future picks. The 2031 pick in particular could be highly valuable, as it's beyond the timeline of Street, If Curry, Draymond Green and Butler. Meanwhile, their Warriors land two relatively young players who can help them win right now and provide value in the future. The Warriors have a strong roster this season, but it's not one that people expect can compete with the best teams in the NBA. The Warriors could make a run to the second round or conference finals, but it's hard to see them credibly beating a team like the OKC Thunder if they beef up their starting five up with these talented additions. It's hard to count them out against any team in the NBA. Denny Abdija is averaging 15.9 points, 6.9 rebounds and 3.7 assists this season. He had a slow start, as evidenced by his averages of 25.6 points, 11.1 rebounds and 5.44 assists over the last 7 games, proving he has all-star potential as a two-way forward. Robert Williams has averaged 5.8 points, 5.9 rebounds and 1.7 blocks. His injury troubles make him a questionable acquisition, but if healthy he'd be the perfect starting center for the franchise. A five of Curry, Butler, Abdija, Draymond and Williams would be lethal. Curry and Abdija will be offensive leaders, with Butler contributing at a high level on both ends. Draymond and Williams will comprise the defensive spine of the team while retaining rotational contributors like Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Tracy Jackson Davis, Guy Santos and more. The Trailblazers are still in the process of developing their roster under head coach Shanti Billups. The progression shown by Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe has made them future franchise building blocks, while Abdija has been important as well given the price they acquired him at last season. The fact he's not homegrown makes him a great option for a quick asset flip. Jonathan Kuminga is averaging 16.3 points, 4.7 rebounds and 2.3 assists this season. The 22-year-old is still considered a high potential forward, so acquiring him and hoping he has a similar developmental leap as Abdija could be the best move forward. Brandon Podski is averaging 10.5 points, 4.9 rebounds and 3.3 assists and is a coveted do-it-all wing. Swingman Kuminga and Podziemski together are fantastic young additions to the Blazers' rotation, giving them scope to be competitive as soon as next season. The additional picks make the deal even sweeter, especially the value of the 2031 pick, which is heightened due to the Warriors' uncertain long-term future given the age of their core. And you fan, what do you think about Robert Williams' situation? Write to us in the comments.